Okay, ladies and germs, we're going to be talking through our next cycle, which is going to be starting on July 24th. We're going to run this for 8 weeks. However, once again, I'm going to try to vary this a little bit more than I had in the past. A little bit closer to what we did this previous cycle, where even though we have priorities, they're going to vary in the looks that you get on a day-to-day basis, which is hopefully an encouraging thing. As someone who signed up for a CrossFit gym, you want a lot of variety. This hopefully will incorporate that for you guys while still getting good quality results. Saw a ton of people PRing lifts like bench press, back squat previous cycles, but at the same time, we want to make sure the training itself is actually fun. Yeah, let's jump into it. Day number 1, we're going to have some sort of barbell cycling. So this could be clean and jerk or snatch variations, any of those. And again, barbell cycling, meaning that we're doing touch and go reps or multiple reps where you're just hanging on to it. So we are going to make sure that we're going over technique and giving you guys plenty of time to practice. And that's probably going to be a big focal point throughout that, is that it's not just about going heavy. It's about learning how to cycle a barbell efficiently. And then we're going to do some sort of interval-based workout that has a barbell, some sort of barbell cycling again, and then a hanging gymnastics element. So, they're hanging from the pull-up bar or the rings. And then we're also going to make sure we get a little bit of bicep accessory work on that day as like a finisher, stuff like curls, like that sort of thing. Tuesday, we're actually going to have this be a pretty aerobic day, meaning that it's more endurance based. However, we are still going to do some lifting and some strength work, and that's going to be largely overhead pressing work, with really our key performance indicator being the strict press as a 1RM that we'll kind of retest at the beginning and the end of the cycle. Yeah, and making sure that the strength that we built in the bench press in the previous cycle is carrying over to that overhead movement. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of erg-based work on that day, stuff that's a little bit lower intensity. It's not just like hard conditioning. It's good to sometimes to not go right up against that capacity. Then hopefully this allows for people who are coming across multiple days back to back to have higher adherence to that as well. And then we'll end again with some more aerobic work and accessory and midline type stuff mixed in with that as well. So not just spending time on the ergs, but getting some joint health stuff that is sort of mixed in and can kind of add to that the variety and make sure that you're not getting bored as you do that as well. Wednesday, we're going to be doing cleans and front squats of some variation, often squatting for the actual clean variation itself. And the goal is to, again, as we kind of mentioned before, like bench press is carrying over to strict press. Here it's like, okay, we just did a back squat cycle, the previous cycle. We're going to make sure that the leg strength is carrying over to more of that front squat position. That way it carries over to the Olympic lifts to a greater extent. And then we're going to have a Metcon that's more traditional style featuring a barbell as well. And then we'll do some additional joint health on that day. That was Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're going to, again, have that be a little bit more of a recovery day. Doing, again, some more erg-based aerobic work on that day. Just getting a little bit more conditioning and breathing, sweaty, however, still not feeling like you're dying on that particular day. And then we're also going to allow for some hinging work. And this could be deadlifts or RDLs or kettlebell swings or something along those lines, with the emphasis being that we have quality reps and we have a pretty high time under tension, which is going to allow for a good stimulus without beating you up or feeling like your back's the thing that's like limiting you. And then we're going to have some sort of pushing and pulling finisher, like basically an arm pump at the end of that. And then finally on Friday, we're going to have snatches or overhead squats, depending on which week we're in. And then some sort of like a classic CrossFit workout. Sometimes this will be a girl WOD, right? Like the classic, Fran or Kelly, Helen, Amanda, right? If you're not someone who isn't familiar with the kind of the history of CrossFit, I would encourage you to go look up, just like Google, like CrossFit Girl WODs, right? There's a whole bunch of them, and we're probably going to work our way through some of them. It might be a hero workout. It might be just be like my own spin off something that's very similar to that and kind of classic CrossFit, though, to end out the kind of formal week. And then Saturday, as always, is going to be often more team or partner based, and it's going to be something that is kind of fun and often just like a good sweat workout against sort of classic CrossFit type stuff. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good cycle. We'll see you guys on the 24th when this gets started.